talking snacks. Now, I'm not talking about snacks for myself, although we are in the kitchen, but we're going to prepare some snacks for our fishy friends underwater. On today's menu, we have this. Now, we'll zoom in and you can have a bit of a look. So first, we have our pilchards. Next, we have our squid. And finally, we have our pibbies. So pilchards, squid, and pibbies. And the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to rig our pilchards. Pilchards, or bluebait, are a little bait fish that catch a variety of fish out in our ocean. From flathead to snapper, gummy sharks, people even catch tuna on them. They're an amazing bait, they're extremely versatile. Let me show you how to rig them up. There's a couple of ways I like to do this, and I'll show you both of them right now. So first, we'll take one pilchard. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a knife and we're going to cut this one in half. Just like so. Now, this is what we call a cut bait. So we've got two halves ready to use as a bait. So the next thing we do, now that we've got our bait cut in half, we grab our hook. So I'm just using a little circle hook like this. And then we firstly go through the base of the tail. Try and get it through the spine, and we just slowly put it on. Now be careful to watch for your fingers because the hooks are sharp and they will hurt. So now that we've got it through our bait just like so, the next thing we like to do is pull that bait just through a little bit like so. Now we're nearly there. We take this hook, pull a bit more line through, and we thread it back through that bait. We're always trying to hit that spine because that keeps our bait nice and tight onto our hook. So after this, you can see that our hook has gone through our bait. We turn it over, we pull that tight, and then our hook slides up. Now at the moment, it's quite nice, it's quite straight. We then grab our line, push it back up on towards itself, forming a nice little loop. We then get that loop and we place it over the tail. And we slowly pull it up. Pull it nice and tight. And what this does is that half hitch forms a nice connection over our line, and it just means our bait can't come off. So our bait is nice and straight, it's nice and straight on the hook, and it's perfectly ready to go, ready to fish. Next, we're going to run a double hook presentation on a larger bait. So to rig up our whole pilchard, which is a fantastic bait for salmon, snapper, gummy sharks, and everything in between, we're going to use a double hook snell rig. Now you can find this on our content page on our website at www.fishcare.org.au. First, what we have to do is we have to measure our snell rig and where we want it to be placed. So I want that front hook through the head and that second hook just through the middle of the body like so. So now that we've measured it up and we know where we want our hooks to sit, the first thing we do is we go with our rear hook, and all we do is we put it through our pilchard, just like so. And that comes out the other side. The next thing we do is put that front hook in. So again, we measure where we want it to go, roughly about where the bend of the hook comes through, inside the head. We put our bait back down, we get our hook, we bend it around, and we put it through the nice hard bony part of the head. Just like so. And there we have it. That is our two hooks rigged within our full pilchard. Again, the last thing that we can do is get our line, form a loop, put it over the end of it, fish like so. And that just creates a nice and hard connection so our pilchard doesn't fly off our hook. There you go. Ready to use a whole pilchard. And there you have it, a couple of different ways to rig up our pilchards. Double snell hook for our full bait, or single hook for our cut bait. Next, we're going to be talking about squid. Squid is an incredible bait, probably one of the most common baits that I use, especially in our fishing clinics when we're out there teaching a few people how to fish. It's great because it lasts for a long time, but it also appeals to most fish that swim. It's great when cut into a squid strip for whiting, snapper, even kingfish, but it's also great as a full bait like this for large snapper, gummy sharks, even mulloway. So let me show you how to rig up a squid. So first, I want to show you how to rig it as a squid strip. So what we do is we take our knife and we cut our squid into squid rings, much like you'd see when you're eating calamari. So now that we've made a ring, we then cut it at one section. What that means is we can now open up our ring, just like so. We peel the remaining guts out of it, and then we have a nice clean squid strip. So to rig our squid strip, it's pretty simple. You can simply just take a hook, put it through once, and fish it just like that. Very, very simple. Or if you want a little bit of extra security, what I like to do is to get that bait, pull it back over itself, pierce it through again, and then go around one more time. I then pull the top end of that squid strip over my hook, and that keeps it nice and aligned. By doing it like that, your squid strip won't spin, and it's going to be a fantastic bait and a fantastic presentation for any fish out there in the ocean. You can also rig a whole squid. Using a whole squid like this is a great idea for targeting larger fish, especially gummy shark, snapper, mulloway. You could even use it for kingfish in some circumstances. Again, I like to use the double snell hook rig, much like we use on our pilchard. And we do it in much the same way. So we get that first hook, we know where we want it to go, except for this time, I want it to be a little bit further up our squid. Right up there in the back of it. And a lot more simply, we get it, we pierce it through our squid, we come out the other side. Next, we get our second hook, and we do the same thing, measure it up, and pierce it through our squid. Now we want both hooks ending up on the same side. Just like so. Now that is a perfect bait for large snapper, gummy shark, and everything in between. So up next we have our pippy. They're a little bivalve shell, and they're fantastic baits for things like whiting, trevally, flathead, even small pinky snapper. They catch nearly anything that swims, and especially fish that feed off the bottom. Now they're really simple to rig, so let's get stuck into it. The first thing you do is open it, and it looks just like that. We then peel out the other side, leaving us with a small amount of meat, just like that. We can then take our shell and we can discard that because it makes great burley. So throw that in the water, and then we're moving on to rigging up. I like a single hook, and I like little circle hooks just like this, and it's really, really simple. We get our pippy and we just thread it onto our hook a number of times. It's not a very clean bait, so it doesn't need to be rigged nice and straight like our squid strips or our pilchards. And that's it. Like I said, it's pretty simple, and that's going to catch whiting, snapper, and everything else in between. And that's how we rig a pippy. Now we've gone through my 3 favourite baits to use in salt water: squid, pilchards and pippies. They're going to get you out of trouble for 90% of the fishing that you do land-based and most of the fishing that you do in a boat. If you want to see more videos on how to tie the rigs that I showed you in these videos, like the double snell knot and also our connection to our hook, which I used a uni knot, you can find that on our website at www.fishcare.org.au. And for more content like this, check that out as well on that website.